Hey guys, I got with the picks here. It is Thursday, early morning. This one's gonna hurt. Let's talk about the last football play we put out. We had the under in the Bills game, under 48. Even though that game pushed, it felt like an absolute loss. They had 3 turnovers in 5 minutes, a defensive touchdown in the third quarter, and put up 24 points in the fourth quarter and 0 points in the 24 in the third and 0 in the fourth to get us to a 48 push. And trust me, that felt like an absolute loss. So our record right now in football is 10 wins, 4 losses, 1 push, which puts us at a 71.4% winning percentage. We will take that all day long. And we're going to add to it again here on Thursday. And the reason I said this one's going to hurt, it's going to hurt. But I got to do it. We're looking at the Steelers traveling to First Energy Field and playing the Cleveland Browns. Steelers come in at 1-1. Browns come in at 1-1. This line opened up at 5.5. It's dipped as low as 3.5, and right now as I speak, it's sitting at 4.5. This total opened up at 40.5, and it sits at 38.5, and that is Cleveland giving 4.5 points. These two teams, they both lost last week. One team in the Steelers, they trailed the whole game and lost. Cleveland, they had a commanding, huge lead in the fourth quarter and crumbled and lost to the Jets. A very up-and-coming Jets team at that, but they did absolutely crumble in the fourth and lost. Both these teams on short weeks. Myles Garrett hasn't practiced all week. I still expect him to give it a go. I do. The Steelers, they're needing to do something soon about this pitiful offensive line. The Steelers on the year, they average 255 total yards a game. That's absolutely embarrassing. I didn't go back and look just because I didn't want to, because I wonder how far I'd have to go back to see the last time the Steelers averaged a number like this or below this. If they ever have. 255 total yards in the NFL is nothing. Nothing. How do they have a win on the record? Well, they caused 13,342 turnovers against the Bengals. That's how they get a win. Yeah, they average 255 total yards a game, which is unbelievable. And especially with a running back and Najee Harris and a wide receiver core like they got. Come on. I mean, come on. We're the Browns, the Cleveland Browns. They average 380 yards as a team. You're talking 125 more yards than the Steelers. I doubt that margin has ever been that wide, either side. I can almost guarantee it. In the Browns, they lead the NFL in rushing with 200 yards a game, which is a very, very good number. The Steelers' D, and I really don't have to say this, but I do in a way, the Steelers' D is not the same. They're just not the same without Watt on the team. I mean, they're not. And I almost think, like I said, the line opened at 5.5. It dropped to 3.5. It's at 4.5. And I'm hoping everybody that watches this and sees it first, you jump on this line at 4.5. Because if this line moves anywhere, it's going to go back up. I don't think the odd makers, they don't know where to put this line exactly because they're not sure about Pittsburgh's defense either. I'm pretty sure about Pittsburgh's defense. It's a complete different unit out there without TJ Watt. I mean, any casual fan can see that. When you got a guy like me breaking down numbers and looking at numbers consistently, it's not even close. The Steelers have the fourth best passing rushing defense with TJ Watt on the field. When you take him off the field, they are the 25th. A defense like that, when you take away a superstar like that, you wouldn't think that they would drop from that to 25th. They should never drop that much because of one player. That's how, sad to say, that's where the defense evolves around constantly. And they're not the same defense at all. Like I said, the line opened at 5.5, went to 3.5, it's sitting at 4.5. I said the odds maker, they can't find a concrete number what they want to base it on. And actually in this game, the big, I mean very big edge goes to the Cleveland Browns offensive line, which is upper echelon. They are 5 stars. They check every box on the offensive line. And the Steelers are negative stars on the offensive line. In my opinion, they have the worst offensive line in football, if you want my opinion. I'm sitting here with a Steelers hat on. And I'm telling you that this is the worst offensive line in football. And I'm not saying that as a fan. I'm saying that as a guy crunching numbers. Worst offensive line in Pittsburgh in football, period. Last week, I mean, Jacoby Brissett, he looked poised in the pocket. He was cool, calm, and collective. Didn't make mistakes. He connected 9 times last week with their big acquisition in the offseason, Amari Cooper, which is a standout wide receiver. And to look at that connection happening last week along with Hunt and Chubb, Cleveland could have something going on there pretty special. Cooper finished with 110 and a touchdown last week. The defense in that game, they lost it. They lost it for the Browns. It definitely wasn't the offense. The defense just absolutely crumbled. And like I said, I'm sitting here and I'm a guy that's 30 minutes away from Heinz Field that goes to football games, that bleeds black and gold. I mean, just bleeds black and gold. And thank God that when I handicap games and I look at games, I do it with my head and not my heart. But I can't see Steelers doing much at all with an absolute shit show up front, which we call an offensive line. I just can't see it. Once again, I see a lot of punts coming from the Pittsburgh side. Don't get me wrong. It'll still be some type of fight. I don't know what type of fight it's going to be, but it's still going to be some type of fight. It always is. But after Pittsburgh's performance tonight, you're going to hear the commentators obviously talking about this week being a short week and giving a rookie a long week to get some practice. And I wouldn't be surprised one bit if this game goes according to plan, which it's going to be awfully hard for it not to go according to plan. It's not like we're going to just magically appear with 5 more offensive linemen and they're going to step up and they're going to give us an extra second and a half to throw the ball. We're going to open up a bigger hole for Najee. None of that stuff's going to happen. The same thing that's been going on with the offensive line for the last 2 games is going to go on again tonight. And I wouldn't be surprised one bit to see Kenny Pickett taking snaps next Sunday at the latest. At the latest. I mean, there's a possibility he could break through. He could break through and get a couple snaps in this game, regardless though. Regardless of the fact, the core problem here with the Steelers is the offensive line. And I expect to do what they do. Give up a lot of pressures. Deontay Johnson, they can't go downfield at all because they don't have time. Short dink and dank passes, maybe a flat pass here or there to Najee. Najee's still banged up. Don't think he's 100% because he's not. Trubisky got the word on his shoulders. You know, they got all this stress. They got everything. You got the GM, you got the owner, you got Tomlin. All this stuff trickles down. And it may explode this week. It may explode this week. I see Chubb and Hunt just wearing down the front seven for Pittsburgh. I see Jacoby making enough plays downfield to get the winning cover. Come on, I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler, guys, and I'm saying this stuff. And I'm saying this stuff because it's the facts. I see him making enough plays. I see Cleveland's defense stopping Pittsburgh's offense a lot more than Pittsburgh's defense stopping Cleveland's defense. We're getting a generous line here at 4.5. We were getting a generous line at 5.5. When I break down this number and I get it down to dust and I build it back up, I have this line at 7.5. Cleveland giving 7.5. We're getting it at 4.5 right now. That's a full field goal. Shoot it. I want it. Run it. I'll be putting a little extra on this game. I'll be going against my boys, Pittsburgh Steelers, tonight and putting a little bit extra on this because I see a ton of value in this game. When I think that I'm getting, if not a full field goal, a close to a field goal, when I put the numbers together, I'm all over it. I'm all over it. I would never think in a million years of doing this, I would ever say, you know, you already know what the pick is. Take Cleveland. As bad as it's killing, take Cleveland minus 4.5 points. All right, let me take Cleveland minus 4.5 points. We're gonna start the week out the right way. We're gonna jump on house money. We're gonna leverage house money against house. You guys know the song and dance. And I want to thank you guys for the support, the love, the comment, the shares. Please continue to do it. Thank you guys very much for the tips. The tips are greatly appreciated. You guys let me know that I'm doing something right. And believe me, I'm doing this for y'all as much as I do this for me. I love doing this and I love winning. And that's exactly what we're going to do tonight. Guys, you already know what I'm going to do until I get back to you. I'm going to get back to getting this